Dear humans, I stand here today not for myself, but for every tail wagger, sloppy kisser, and curtain ninja. I stand here for each one of the thousands of dogs and cats killed in shelters each day, asking you to join our cause and help us make sure every best friend has a chance to meet one of their own. With Best Friends Animal Society leading the charge, and your help, we can save them all.
Thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. I'm Tara Douglas. My special guest today is someone who plays a very important role in animal rescue in this area. I have Lynn Averett here. She is a foster for dogs. She works at the shelter on Saturdays, helping all of the dog walkers come and walk the dogs. She works with a lot of local rescues to try to find homes for some of these dogs at the shelter. And she has just been a wonderful part of the rescue community. So Lynn, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Good to be here.
Now, let's talk about the state of animal rescue. I think that that's something that is always important to let the community know. So,
well, adoptions are down. Rescues can't move dogs. The shelter's not moving very many dogs and adopting them out. And that's what I mean when I say moving. But across the nation, rescues are overcrowded. Dogs don't have anywhere to go. And we can't send as many puppies or grown dogs to rescues like we used to could. I know we have 2 in Florida and a couple up north that we work with, but they're just not able to accept any dogs from us right now.
And I think a lot of people, they know that through Feral Dogs of Avondale, through a lot of the volunteers, that we're able to get, in the past, we've been able to get a lot of dogs out of this area. I mean, when I tell people the number, I mean, I like to tell that number because it's just mind-boggling, but the Feral Dogs of Avondale Mill, the rescue organization here in town, has been able to get 10,000 dogs, right around 10,000 dogs, that are from Sylacauga out of this area and to rescues in other states in the last 8 years or so. And that's a huge number. And so I think people think when they hear that and they see us so vocal about animal rescue, that if you have a dog, that you can just call us and we'll know exactly what to do. If you have a litter of puppies, we can get it out of this area. But it's just like Lynn was saying, it's not like that anymore. I mean, the shelters are full in other areas. And so we've had to think of different ways to get puppies out of here. Like Lynn said, we have 2 rescues in Florida that will take puppies, certain puppies from us, but we have to have fosters on our end before they can go. But Lynn has done something that's quite amazing in my opinion. You know, we were having so much trouble, and I know Lynn is networking with some rescues, but let's talk about what you've started doing on Pet Finder.
We are listing all of the dogs. They're not all up there right now because we have so many, but we're trying to list all of our available dogs for adoption on Pet Finder. We have a post that is featured on the Sylacauga Animal Shelter page where you can click on it and go straight to Pet Finder. We will still be posting featured dogs of the week on the Sylacauga Animal Shelter page, but the bulk of our available dogs you're going to find on Pet Finder. And what I just sort of threw up a Hail Mary since we couldn't move any dogs and said, I'm going to try the site out. I saw some rescues using it and it's gotten a lot of response. Well, more than we get normally.
Absolutely.
And so it's been real encouraging. We don't have all the dogs up yet, but we have a good many, and we're going to continue adding to that. And all you have to do, it has our contact on each dog. There's a bio and there's pictures, and it tells you about the dog. And you will see the contact, and you can message the contact person on there. It'll either be me or Ashley Cunningham.
Okay.
Then we will talk to you and be your liaison between the shelter or feral dogs, because we do have a few of our feral dogs that are in foster with us right now that are on there. And it's been encouraging. I mean, it's been very, very, I will say it's been depressing, the amount of dogs that just keep coming to the shelter. A lot of people think I'll just take the dog to the shelter and it'll be safe. And that's just not true.
Yeah, the shelter's overcrowded.
The shelter is overcrowded. There's too many dogs, and there's not enough space or workers to take care of the dogs. And so difficult decisions have to be made, and nobody likes it, but that's just the way it is. And so no, not necessarily will a dog be safe if you take it to the shelter.
Yeah, and it's just a sad fact. But we've got Hillary up right now, so we're going to show some of the dogs that Lynn has been able to place on Pet Finder, and let's talk about Hillary.
Hillary is the very energetic Boston Terrier mix. She, when you go up to her kennel, she just wants out and everything. She's about 2 years old, but when she gets out of the kennel, she knows commands. She knows sit. She knows go to your crate and things like that. So she's been in a home somewhere before. She's very loving, very silly, very sassy, and she loves to go on walks, and she's good with other dogs too.
She's so cute, but she is a straight up nut when you walk up to her kennel. So
She
you have
is.
to understand
think,
that.
I don't want that dog, but when you get the collar on, it's just like let's go, and she doesn't pull you. She doesn't try to get away from you. She is just excited, and she'll turn around and jump up and give you a hug. And she's a smaller size dog, and a lot of people want small dogs. So if you're interested in a small dog, go and check out Hillary.
I would argue she's one of
out and walk her.
Yeah, she's one of the best dogs at the shelter, in my opinion.
Yeah, she really is.
Now here is Hennessy.
Okay, Hennessy's a Brindle Lab mix. She is very, very beautiful. Those pictures don't even do her justice. Hennessy's been there, and she's about 2 years old, and she's been there over a year, and I didn't realize it had been over a year since Hennessy came to the shelter.
Yeah, it doesn't seem like that.
She is a very sweet dog. She's calm. Her adoption is sponsored, so if the right person comes along, her adoption is paid for. She does need to be the only dog in the home. We haven't really kept her around the other dogs very much, but she tends to like to be in the spotlight and the apple of your eye, and no one else be involved in that. So she's a great dog. She's easy to walk. She's still got a lot of years. She's very healthy. So we really love Hennessy at the shelter because she is so sweet. I know that one of our older dog walkers walks her and doesn't give her a bit of trouble.
Yeah, she's a beautiful dog and a
she's
sweet
very
dog.
easy to walk.
Now we got Sandy up now.
Sandy came to the shelter about 2 years ago. She's been in there a long time, and she's a very sweet dog. We don't mix her with the other dogs, and she does not like cats, and so she probably would do best in the only home. Sandy had a rough beginning, I believe, in her physical appearance kind of shows it, but she is a very sweet girl, and she's very loving, and she deserves a home, and her adoption is also sponsored. So if you would come out and look at her and try not to judge her by the cover, just walk her and spend some time with her and learn her personality, because she is very sweet. I am going to stress again that she's not very fond of cats.
Okay, yeah. Doesn't need to go to a cat household,
No.
but she is a sweet dog. You know, everybody
She's very
enjoys walking her.
sweet. Everybody enjoys walking her. She's very easy to walk. Everybody loves seeing her. She's going to give you loves and hugs and everything else. And so she's just to win you over with her personality.
Now, speaking of loves and hugs, we got Jessie up right now, who is in foster.
Yes. Jessie is, she's a terrier mix. She's not going to be a large dog. She is in foster, and her adoption is sponsored. She is very loving. She loves other dogs. She loves cats. She loves people. She just loves. And she's very active, and she's still got a lot of puppy in her. She's about, 3 or 4 months old. She did have a problem over some food at the shelter with another dog, and that comes from the overcrowding at the shelter, where she did get attacked and her ear got taken off, but Dr. J at Two Man 280 Animal Clinic did a fantastic job of stitching her up, and she's well and she's ready to go.
And you can't see that ear, but the ear's there. They stitched it back up, and
it's the one that goes towards the back. But it sort of just adds to her character.
Yeah, she's
a
sweet dog.
Look awful or anything. It's a really good job, and she is healed, and her foster loves her to death, and she's almost a foster fail. But if we can find the right home, she's gonna let her go to a home, because she deserves a home of her own.
And she's 90% house trained, correct?
Yes, she is.
Yeah.
She stays in the house. She doesn't have messes in her crate, and she doesn't mess in the house that much. She's 90%. She's getting there.
And I always say it's such an amazing opportunity to get one of these dogs from foster, because you'll be adopting a dog that has already decompressed from being at the shelter, has already been in a home, is already house trained in Jesse's case, has been around other dogs, been around people, and so it should be an easy transition with an adoption from a foster situation.
When they're in foster, if you'll get with us, we can arrange a meet and greet for you, and be more than happy. And if you have another dog in your home and you want to bring that dog along too, to see how they do, you can do that as well. Especially with Jessie, she's great.
And here's our last dog that we're going to talk about this morning. This is Jeremiah, who is also in foster.
Yes, Jeremiah is a hound mix. He's about three months old. Jeremiah weighs about 25 pounds. But he'll probably be a big dog.
Yeah.
He's going to be that hound dog you see laying on people's porches out in the country. But he is the sweetest thing, and bless his heart, all of his siblings have been sent to rescue, and one was adopted, and so he's all alone, and he's kind of lonely right now. He has been neutered. He was neutered yesterday, I believe, and so he'll be ready to go as soon as he heals up. He's had all of his shots. He's had all of his vaccines, including his rabies. And he's just sweet as pie. You can hold him, but he's a little heavy. But you can hold him, and he'll just let love on you. And he's a sweet, playful pup.
Yeah, and just remember, if you do adopt one of these dogs or any of the dogs from the shelter, they are up to date on shots. They have their rabies shot, everything else. They've been fixed. So this is a really good opportunity at a price that's quite low to have all those things done.
It's $120 to adopt a dog. That includes spay, neuter. It includes all their shots and rabies. If there's any other issue that needs to be addressed, it gets addressed as well. So you can't go out and get a dog for free and take it to get it spayed and neutered for that alone, much less all the vaccinations. And they have a foster to adopt program. If you don't think that it would be a good fit, you can foster the dog for a week or 2 weeks to see if it is going to be a good fit for you. Jeremiah has been in the home. He's been in the home with feral dogs, and if you want to meet him again, we'll arrange for a meet and greet at that home for you. And I don't think he would disappoint you. I mean, look at his face.
I know, he's a cute pup.
He is so adorable,
yeah.
and all of his siblings were adorable too. They came in as strays, and it was a litter of puppies, and one of them passed away from parvo, but we pulled the rest of them, and they're doing great.
Well, Lynn, thank you so much for coming on the show today to tell us about these dogs. Let's have you or Ashley on periodically to talk about the dogs we have on Pet Finder.
And again, go to Pet Finder if you want to see the available dogs. And if there's any dogs that you think you've missed, you can always come to the shelter during their hours, and they'll walk you through. But I do encourage and stress, if you see a dog that you think you might like, get it out and walk it.
Absolutely. And if you don't know Lynn and you don't follow her on Facebook, definitely start checking her Facebook page, because she has all these available dogs and has all kinds of information. It's rarely a day that goes by that I don't see Lynn promoting some dog at the shelter. So Lynn, once again, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Thank you for everything you do for the shelter, for Feral Dogs of Avondale.
Save lives.
Absolutely. And thank you for joining us for Pet Connect. We'll have more Daybreak after these messages.
Okay.